This is a video about using the ToDo function in TourTools. ToDo is the scheduling application within TourTools so that you can keep track of all the important events that need to be performed in relationship to sales, operation of the tours, or other business-related functions. It works with all of the modules in the system, and it brings all of these scheduled events together into one place called the ToDo file. When you log into the system in the morning, you will see your to-do list on the main menu. You'll see here that I have two tasks that I have scheduled for today. They're both for clients and it regards a phone call that I need to make. Let's go down to the to-do file. When you click on the to-do button, it will ask you if you want to see the report for all the to-do tasks through today. You can go ahead and click OK, or if you just want to go to the data screen, you can click Cancel. These are different events that have been scheduled. They all have a due date. They have an action. Some will have a fudge factor. The fudge factor is the amount of time that you want to allow yourself to get a task completed. The due date always needs to be the drop dead date. This is the date that it has to be done. Different people have different comfort levels for getting things done, so we can use a fudge factor. If we put a fudge factor of 4 days in here, it will change the take action date to 4 days ahead of the drop dead date, the date that it absolutely has to be done. For things like a phone call or sending an email, typically you wouldn't need a fudge factor. For something like getting a check in the mail and making sure somebody has received it by a certain date, you would want to put in a fudge factor. Every to-do record that's created has a staff member that created it and a staff member who the task is assigned to. While you can't change the name of the person who created the record, you can reassign it to someone else in the office. Whatever name you see here, this will determine who sees the list when they sign in the morning. So Anne's information would appear for her when she signed in. Shelley would see what she sees when she signs in. Every record has the capability of linking to different tables in the system. This one is relative to a deposit that is due. This is for the Tulalip Casino vendor, but it also is directly linked to a tour and an operations record. So it has a vendor record, an operations record, and a tour that it is relative to. This is another Tulalip. Again, it's operations related, so it's linked to a vendor and a tour. Different events, depending on what they are, may also be linked to a client, to an activity, or for a booking. So, depending on where you create the to-do item in the system will determine the number of records to which it is connected. If a to-do item is connected to a particular type of record, you will be able to see that to-do item in the Tour Master database if it's linked to a tour. You'll see it in the vendor and the ops file if it's linked to an ops and vendor record. Clicking back on the master menu. Before I go, there are some helpful reports. The to-do list will allow you to build your own list. Your list today will show you all the items up through today that are not completed. This week will show you all the items that are scheduled for this week. Next week, as the name implies, will show you all the items for next week. And the incomplete list will show you all the items scheduled that have not been completed. Clicking on the incomplete list, you'll see they're all marked red, and almost all of the to-do items in the system have not been completed. Any of these reports, if you click on the Go button, it will take you to the location where the action must be taken in order to complete the item. In this case, this was an operations-related item. It took me to the operations record. You'll see that there are 4 things here. Now, if this was completed, I could just click in here and put today's date or whatever date it was completed. Excuse me. And you'll see that it changes color and it is now completed. If you click on the detail button, it will take you back to the items associated with that operations record, and you see that this item is no longer red. It is white, which would indicate that it is completed. So you see that your items are color-coded. We also have color coding for items that are due this week. They would be yellow. And if they are color-coded green, that means that they have not become due yet. They are in the future, but not due this week. So that's how you simply navigate around with the to-do items. Going back to the master menu, let's go up to Contacts, go to the to-do screen. If I want to add a to-do item, you'll see that this one is yellow. That means that it will occur, that needs to be dealt with this week. These items will always sort to the top of the list. No matter how many to-do items have been scheduled for this client, the ones this week will sort to the top, so you're sure to see them. The green ones will be next, the red ones will be next, and the white ones, which are completed, will be the last. To schedule a new item, I can click on the new to-do item. I give it a name or a description of the task. And I'll schedule this for 8/1/2016. Again, sometimes I can put in a fudge factor if I need a few days to complete the task. In this case, I just need to know about it on the 1st. You'll see that it pops onto the list as green. If I go back to the master menu, we can change the range of dates that are displayed. Right now it just displays the next 3 weeks or so, 7/3. When you log in the morning, it will be set for today. In other words, it would come up 7/14, 7/14. It would just show today's items. If I want to see farther into the future, I can do that. Here's through the end of August. Now you'll see that I've picked up the new one, the Send Email Brochure to Karen, on August 1st. If your list does not pop up, it's because your name is not on this list. To add your name to the list, you need the owner password for the system. You click on the staff data and make sure that there is a record in the system for you, for the staff person. The other aspect is the full name, which is a calculation based on the combination of the first name and last name, needs to be loaded into needs to be loaded into your copy of FileMaker. On Windows, it's in the Edit menu, Preferences. The username needs to be your full name, and it needs to exactly match the name that you have in your staff record. If it doesn't match, then the system will not recognize you when you log in, and you will not see your list. You can look at anybody else's list at any point. This is an older system, so I'm not sure what's in here. Yeah, there's just no data in here. Maybe some for Anne. Yeah, there's one in here for Anne. This is an older copy of your system. So you can look, if someone is out of the office, you can go ahead and look. You can go ahead and look to see if they have anything due today, if they would happen to be out of the office. All of the databases, as I mentioned, have a to-do screen. So between the reports and adjusting these dates, you should be able to schedule a variety of different tasks. There are a couple of tasks or actions that you can take in TourTools that will automatically create to-do items. When you send an information request to a client, clicking this new info request, once you have sent a brochure, it will automatically schedule a follow-up call, which will appear on their to-do item. In Vendor, you can load contract information for a vendor so that when it is included in a tour package and that tour package is published, which means the operations records are created, it will automatically create to-do items. So description, deposit information would be deposit is required or deposit is not required. Days prior, this is the number of days prior, so it might be 120 days prior to the arrival date, 120 or 60 days prior to the arrival date. The amount of money for the deposit, if it's refundable or not refundable, the days prior to the scheduled service on which you can cancel without penalty, the days prior to arrival date for the final count, and same for the rooming list. You don't have to use all of these fields. You can use them as necessary. There's more fields here for a hotel, for instance, than, say, a restaurant or some other type of vendor. But you can pick and choose and use the appropriate fields. Again, when those are loaded into a package and the package is published, the to-do items will automatically be created. Those are the basics of the to-do list. Let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you.